Hello, I'm Don Gichai. We'll be taking you through Microsoft Access. That is Microsoft Access full tutorial. This one can be used for beginners and also those ones who need to have refresher exercise. Sorry. To start with, we shall look at our lesson objectives. Then also remember to subscribe on YouTube, Don Gichai. Give me a subscription. Therefore, the first thing to see is to know what is a database. A database is a collection of related data kept with a certain purpose. Then for you to keep data, you need a software or a computer program. These computer programs are called Database Management System or DBMS, where we have an example. We shall use Microsoft Access. Therefore, the next thing is to launch Microsoft Access. We shall look at how we launch Microsoft Access. 10, 13, 16, or 19, they are those versions. Therefore, you basically launch Access. You launch Microsoft Access. Then, after launching Microsoft Access, you will get this screen. We need to come up with a blank database, and therefore we shall go to this point. We just type the database. We call it school. Our database is called school fees. Then you choose where you want to save your database. I want to save my database in desktop. Then I just click on OK. Then I click on create. Now once I do that, I will have created a database called it's called school. Therefore, after having done so, the next thing is to know the database objects. We have database objects. Database objects, we have table. We usually have you just go to create to see the database objects. Therefore, you have table. We have queries. We have forms. We have reports and also macros. Therefore, they are arranged in the way we shall create them. These are called the database objects. Therefore, you just go to create and you'll be in a position to see them. We have reports, they are indicated here in the groups, macros, and code. We have forms, queries, tables. Therefore, the next thing to do is to start by creating a table. Therefore, you just go to table design, this one. You click on table design. Then after you do so, you save. The first step is to save. You can just press Ctrl S on your keyboard. Therefore, our first table will be student. Students. That is our first table. Then after doing so, okay, first of all, you can just assign the fields to make it easy. You have admission number. Then you have student name. Then we have class. Then we have the age of the student. We have the current year. You can call it the current year. Then we have term. Then you can have the photo of the student. Then you can have the entry mark. Now the next thing you need to know, if you look, you are very keen, you realize that I have not used name. Therefore, you cannot use name. Name is a reserved word. Reserved word means it has a special meaning into the database in Microsoft Access. and therefore it cannot be used. You cannot, when you talk about reserved words, we cannot use reserved words in database. For example, you cannot use year, you cannot use time, date, something like class, form. These ones, these are reserved words. Don't never use them as field names. Therefore, you avoid using them. That's why you customize. Like now, instead of saying name, you just say S name, student, the class, that way. Then you need also to run about a special field that can never be blank, can never accept duplicates, and must be special. Something like ID number, admission number, car number plates. Those ones we call them primary key. Therefore, you right click and put this key. That is to tell the computer that that field is special, cannot be left blank, and cannot accept duplicates. Then on the other hand, you need to run something called data types. Data types are the specified, these are the specified fields that can be assigned there. Like for example, admission number here is a number. Then we have S name, text. This is A, B, C, D, A to Z. Therefore, you just leave it text. Then class can be write something like to Rongonot, to Kenya. Therefore, it can be left text. Age is a number. Then you can talk of year. Year is a number. Then we have photo. Now, photo you can use attachment. We have something like gender. You can write something like date of birth. Something like date of birth, that data type is date and time because it is actually a date. Then you have entry mark. This is number. Term can be left text. On the other hand, some people may opt to use picture as object linking and embedding as an object. That one can be left. You can use attachment. Attachment is actually one of the best. Then we can have something like the gender, whereby we want the computer to automatically select the gender of the student. Therefore, you can use the lookup wizard, this one. Then I want to look up fields. No, you just use of I will type the next one. Then you assign male. Down here you assign female. Then you just click on finish. Then there down here there is something called field properties. We have field size, we have format, we have input mask, caption, default value, validation rule, validation text, and the others. These are called field properties. For instance, let's start with the caption. If you look at the extreme right bottom corner, there is an explanation. When I take my cursor to the caption, the label, the caption is the label for the field when used on a form. If you don't enter a caption, the field name is used as the label. There, for instance, if I click in the caption, then I need to write class. Then I go to caption. When I run my table or form, it will write class. The one that I have written the caption. S name. Caption will be whatever will be written. The computer will write student name. Then C year, caption. The computer will write current year. Therefore, you can do that. Then DOB, we go to caption. The computer will write date of birth. Therefore, let's save that table. Call it students. Now, if I run this table by clicking on view, look at what is happening. The captions are displayed. Student name, class, which other one, date of birth, current year. Therefore, you can see how caption works. Whatever you have written in the field names is not the one that is displayed because of the caption. Then we have the default value. If I click the default value, I'd go to my right hand bottom corner. It is a value that is automatically entered in this field for new records, or when you leave it blank. For instance, current year. When I leave it blank, computer will write for me 2020. Therefore, I just write it as 2020 as the current year. Then let's look at validation text. I want to validate the age. Therefore, when you go to validation rule, on your extreme bottom right corner, it is an expression that limits the value that can be entered in the field. For instance, we need to put a validation rule that people in this class must be less or equal to 16 years of age. Now, in case somebody validates that on your extreme right bottom corner, the validation text is the error message that appears when you enter a value prohibited. Therefore, if somebody enters 17, then which will be the error message? Then a message will be wrong age limit. Wrong age limit. And therefore, if I try that, if I go to the age and then I put 20 and I try to enter, you see, I will get an error message, wrong age limit, because I have restricted to 16. But if I put 14, there would be no problem. The computer will continue. It will accept me to continue entering data. Therefore, let's go back to the field properties. Then we have the others down here, which I will go on and on explaining to you. But now, if for example, student name, I need it to be 25 characters. I just go to the field size and reduce the characters. Therefore, if I just click on save and run, then I try entering student characters more than 25. It cannot accept. You see, it cannot accept more than 25 because you have actually restricted to 25. Therefore, let's proceed. Let's create another table. We create another table. We go to create, then table design. We create another table called fees. This table will have the admission number. You have the admission number of the student, and then it will have something like serial number. Now, serial number will be 1, 2, 3, 4. That is incremental numbers. Therefore, I shall write auto number. Auto number and make it the primary key. Then this one should be number. Then we go to fees paid. Fees paid. And then we shall go to fees payable. Fees payable. Then we shall have the balance. Balance, we can just assign calculated. Calculated the field. But since this one is not supported by other Microsoft earlier versions, let's just put it as currency. Let's put it as currency. Shall delete this one, delete. Then this one is currency. This one is also currency. Then you can just have the fees term. That is the fees term. Then the fees year. Therefore, this one is the term. Term 1, term 2, term 3. Then this one is the year. The year. I have put F to differentiate it from the other year from the students from the other table. Therefore, this should be number. But when it comes to caption of F term caption, I write term, simply term. Then year caption, I write here, so that I can be in a position to know the entry. And from there you can save this table as fees, that way. Then you can cross it down. Then after now having having these fields, we can just key in some data. Like for example, you can just put 5 records. 5 or 6. Then we shall have the name, those are our students. This one is in 2N, 2W, 2N, 2W, 2N, 2N. That way, this one is in 2W. Then age 12. That way. You see, the current year is automatically entered because I assigned the default value as 2020. This is term 1, term 1, term 1, term 1, term 1, term 1. Good. Then if we go back to date of birth, you see the calendar. See, the calendar will appear there. Gender, it will give me the selection because I actually chose to use lookup wizard. Yeah, good. Then we shall use this admission number. I can just copy, then paste it on the other field for relationship purposes. Now you realize that the serial number, since it's auto number, it has been entered automatically as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That way. For this 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020. That one is the same. Then you can also copy this. This is the same. Copy. Then I just paste. Those ones are the same. Good. Now, after having created our two tables, we can now create a query. A query is a database object that can be used to join two tables for the purpose of calculations, for the purpose of filtering, for the purpose of sorting. Therefore, that one will take us now to our second, that is our next objective. We have already now covered this. That is, we have looked at creating tables, and we have also looked at the other one now. That is creating tables, field properties, and data types. Therefore, in the same point, we shall also look relationship as we look at the queries. Therefore, let's just look at the relationships. When we talk about a relationship, before we create a query, we need to see how are these two tables related. Therefore, you just go to database tools, then you click on relationship, then you double click that to bring it there. You also double click to bring it here. Then from there, you need to have your two tables. Then this is our mother table. We have two tables. We have the table, the master table, and the child. We call this one the parent table. The other one is a child table. Therefore, we need to create a relationship. Therefore, we shall bring this admission number and check whether there is a relationship with the other admission number. And then we tick on this, then click on create. Let me just come up again. You take this field which is related to the other one in terms of data types and the data entered there. Then I drag and drop. There are many types of relationship. We have one-to-many, we have one-to-one, we have many-to-one, and many-to-many. Therefore, the relationship that exists here is one-to-many. Therefore, I just enforce this, then click create. Therefore, you can see this is a depiction of one-to-many relationship. Therefore, I just click on save, then close that one. Now, if I open the fees table, let me use the other one. If I open the mother table, I'll be in a position to see these plus signs. These plus signs. Like now, if I need to know number 6, that is admission number 5 or 6, has paid how much fees, I can be in a position to read, but meanwhile I have not paid the fees. If I need to see admission 5-1 has paid how much, I can be in a position to see. Now this plus signs, this brings the relationships that I have created. If I can now see the relationships, that's the work of the relationship. Then after doing so, let's create a query. Therefore, you shall just go to create. Then you go to query design. Query looks so similar to creating relationships. Therefore, I just double click. You can now see, even in the queries, I can see my relationship. This is called the query grid. Therefore, you basically drag and drop. Like for example, I just drag. You can drag and drop, but the best method is to double click. Therefore, I can start by dropping the parent tables, feeds, admission, these ones, the way they are. Just double click and then they will get entered automatically. I can just scroll to be sure that I'm entering the feeds. Then I can assign the others that way. Now that I have created a query. Then after doing so, I save my query. Can call it master. Then I click on OK. Then you can run this red exclamation mark at the extreme top left corner. You can just click run. When you run, you'll be in a position to see the query. It looks like a table, only that now it has combined all the fields. You can see it has combined all the fields. Therefore, having this query of mine, I can now perform some calculations. But before we do so, let's go back and feed the fees table. Like the fees payable, we can just assign the same amount, 2000. Every student is paying the same amount, but paying is done according to one's ability. You pay according to your ability, so they don't pay the same. Now, you can see that we have fed the fees, but the balance is blank. Therefore, you shall use the query to calculate the balance. Therefore, let's go to our query, we right click, and then select design view. This is the design grid. Then you shall go to where the balance is. We put a formula. The balance is here. Therefore, we shall put our formula here. Therefore, what you do, we can just go to this field, then write our formula. Our formula should be fees payable minus fees paid. Now look at how I am assigning the formula. You start with a full colon, then you cross the field names in square bracket, though it's not a must. The computer will automatically enclose, but make sure spellings are correct. Otherwise, you'll get enter parameter error. Therefore, I just paste that one there. Then I try. I just click and run. You see now, I have an error message. Fees payable. That means I have misspelled a word here. That's why if you look at the word payable, I have misspelled. Therefore, you'll get an error. Therefore, I just go back to my formula and correct that one. I correct payable. Then I save and try to run my query. Now you see there is no error. Therefore, if you are very keen, you realize that I have calculated the balance automatically. Therefore, computer has calculated the balance for me using a query. Therefore, basically, you use a query to perform calculations. Like now, you see the formula that I have used. Balance is actually fees payable minus the fees paid. Then you can still use a query to sort. Like, for example, for you to see it very well, I want to sort the query using admission numbers. They should start from the biggest to the smallest. Therefore, I just go back to design view, then go to where admission number is, this point. Then I go to the query grid and choose sort, then descending order. At this point, descending order. Then I save and sort. You realize that it has sorted according to descending order. That's how you can sort. On the other hand, we might have to filter. For example, I want to filter all students whose fees balance is greater than 1,000. Therefore, I just go back to design view of the query. Then this time around, go to balance, criteria balance. Therefore, I shall go to where criteria is, then go to balance. For example, I want to all students whose fees balance is greater than 1,000. Therefore, I just write greater than 1,000. That way, greater than 1,000. Then I run my query. You see, there is nobody whose fees balance is greater than that. Let's confirm whether it is true. We remove that one, then run our query. Fees balance. Okay, let's just assign the let's assign the condition again. Let's use a more vivid field like age. A more vivid. Let's not use the calculated. If you use a more vivid field like age, we need to get students whose age is greater than 15 years. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, in the same line, let's create another query. Then we can use it to perform the filtering. We just go to query design. Then this time around, let's use the students query to be in a position to be very vivid. We drop that one, we drop that one, we drop that one, we drop that one. As I double click, you get them dropped. Then we can just save this query as filters. Then I run it. It's in a position to see whatever I need. Therefore, let's use this one to filter. Therefore, we needed to see all students whose age there is not actually whose age is greater than 16. Therefore, let's use another criteria. Like now, we go to criteria, then age. We need students whose age is less than 13. Then we run. You see there are two. Whose age is 12. 12 is less than 13. Therefore, that's how you filter. Again, you can be very sure there is a student whose age is less than 13 and is called Jonas. Therefore, I need to use the both criteria. It's greater than 13 and is called Jonas. That way. Therefore, I am now giving two criteria in the criteria or, then you just run just a minute. Jonas data mismatch. Yeah, there is a problem. If you are very keen, you realize that I have written in the wrong column. Jonas. Therefore, there was a data mismatch error. Just a minute, we then correct that one. Let's go to the database and check. We check and be 100% sure. Okay. Now, if you are very keen, you realize that the name Jonas should not be typed there, but should be typed in the name. Name should be Jonas, but age should be 13. Therefore, when now I run, I've been in a position now to get the filtered data. This guy is actually less than 13. That is 13. Yeah, good. Therefore, that's how you do it. You are still learning some of the mistakes that can happen. That this one should be in the same column. This one should be in the same column. That I need a specific student called Jonas, and his less or equal to he's actually less than 13 years of age. Therefore, that's how you can just do a bit of filtering. Now, to learn more and more on advanced filtering, subscribe and watch on other Access videos. I've done so many videos in advanced level. Remember, this is just for the intermediate or for beginners. Then after doing that, we can now create a form. Just go to create. Then you can choose to create a form using a form wizard. Then the form wizard will open you tables or queries, what you need to use. I need to use my master query because it has everything. Then I need to use all of the feeds. Therefore, I send everything to the right. Then I go to next. I choose whether I need a tabular, a data sheet, or justified, but I needed to use a data sheet format. Then I just go to next. Then it will ask me for the name. I can just call it form, a master form, then finish. Therefore, this is a data sheet form. It just looks like a table. Therefore, you can still use this one to feed the data, but still we can create another type of form. Therefore, you can see we have created this form. We create another type of form. You just go to create form wizard. We send everything next. This time round, I need a columnar form. Let's assume we don't need all the fields. We just need the student admission number. We need the name. We need the photo. We need the gender. Next. Then we need it to be columnar. Next. Finish. Therefore, this is another form. We have created a form whereby I can now use it to capture the photos. Like now, if I click add, then I go to pictures. When I go to pictures, yeah, I can capture the picture. Let's assume this is Jonas. Then okay. Now you see I have entered the picture. Then you can go to the next person, double click to enter the picture. That is the next person. I can that way. Therefore, now I have the pictures captured. This is Koech. The next one is Kiprop. That way. You can still adjust this one by right clicking, then go to design view. Right now I want to assign color. Just right click on the space, then I can assign some color that way, then run. See, it has changed the color, but you can use a more convenient color like that one. Yeah, you can right click again, go to design view, can change the color of this one to something red to be readable and bold, then save. That way. You may also need to add some buttons at the and just for navigation purposes. If I just go to this button up here, you click on button, then draw. It will launch this wizard. You go to record navigation, then go to next, and then you choose text, then finish. You see you have created next button, then you can draw again. You go to record operations previous, next, then text, finish. Can add another one for crossing the form, like form operations, then cross, next, text, then that way, then we save. Now when I run my form, you see, you can be in a position to navigate using these buttons that I have created. Then I can cross my form. When I open my form again, okay, this is different. When I open my form again, I can also use this one to add more data. We right click, go to design view, we add a button that is new record. Just go to record operation, then add a new, next, then finish. You can also format this by assigning them different colors, different fonts, different sizes of font, that way. Then we click on save. Therefore, this is now how I have populated my form, and I can still use my form to edit. I cannot use this other type of form to add data, to add more data in my tables, in my other tables. Then let's go to the last part, creating reports and macros. Therefore, to create a report is the easiest. You just go to create, then you can use the report wizard, then you choose whatever you need to create reports for. I need to create reports for my query. Then you choose the fields that you need. You don't assign in everything. Then I need to include the year and the term. Then I need to include fees paid and balance. Then I just go to next, next, next. Then I choose the feed I need. Like now I need them to be arranged according to balance. Then I go to next, next, then finish. Good. Therefore, you see, I have now created a report. This is a report. This hash error means that you increase the column width. Therefore, you can adjust the report by right clicking, then going to design view. Then after going to design view, you can reduce something like this. Fees paid. Okay, let's see how it looks like so far. Good. Therefore, this is a report. The icon is green in color there, and for that matter, you have populated a report, but you can still keep on adjusting by right clicking then design view. Like now, wherever you see there is some errors, you can adjust. You can adjust even by changing the font color, the font size. That way, then you run. You choose to edit. You can edit. You can choose to edit whatever you don't need and leave whatever you need until you get it very smart. You like now I need these ones formatted. That is that way. Good. Therefore, that's how you create a report. Then you may also need to create a macro. A macro is an action. Like for example, when I open this table, it starts by giving me a message, welcome to master form. Therefore, how do you do about it? You just go to create, then you go to macro, you press the macro, then you choose the action. Like now, I need to write a message. If I just choose message box, what is the message? Welcome to master's form and capture data. Then the title, karibu sana, welcome. Then I just say that one as karibu. Then I cross it. Now I want to assign this one. When I click, this is the macro. It will tell me karibu sana, welcome to master's form and capture data. Then I click on OK and it gives me the highway. If I just go to master's form, I right click, I go to design view, then I go to properties. Now in the properties sheet, this one, I go to event, then on road. On road, I just choose karibu. On road, I choose karibu. Then I save and run. You see now, it will tell me karibu. If I cross and open it again, the first thing I see is karibu sana, welcome. Welcome to master's form and capture. I click OK. It gives me the form I want to see. You can also create the last macro on cross. When we cross, if I can just choose here, we see what happens. Okay, just go to message box, then write thanks for using MS Access Forms. Then by Koheri. Then I save and call it by. Therefore, when I run, it will tell me by Koheri. Thanks for using Microsoft Access. Then we can still assign it here. We just go to design view, then go to event. Then we shall look at on and road. On and road this way. On and road by. We save that one and cross. Therefore, when I open my master form on road, it will tell me welcome to master's form. But when I cross, it will tell me bye, thanks for using Microsoft Access, and then I click on OK. Therefore, basically, that's how you use Microsoft Access, and that is a very good skill for a beginner to know Microsoft Access on how to create a table, how to